What is up, guys? Welcome back to Pat Outdoors. This is going to be part 2 of the Razor MX650 street bike makeover. I apologize if there's been a slight delay in between videos since my schedule's been a little bit hectic with my full-time job and some family events on the weekends. But today we're finally going to wrap up the wiring, do some maintenance, and make a few corrections on the setup. Then we're finally going to take this thing out on the street. The first thing I'm going to take care of is adding some thermal paste on the inside of the heatsink. It simply won't be as efficient at cooling unless you have some thermal paste in between the heatsink and the motor. The next thing I want to take care of is replacing the worn out brake pads on this Zoom brake with a fresh set. Wow, those pads just fell apart. Mine are completely gone. This one's like straight to bare metal. I'm also thinking about upgrading this to like a Magura or maybe like a pit bike style brake from Ride or Die. Let me know if you guys have a brake kit in mind that'll directly bolt onto this Electro & Co extended swing arm kit. Just make sure that there's no excess drag on either side of the pad. If you are interested in checking out any of the items that I'm using for today's project, I'll have everything linked in the description below. Next, I want to add some LED lighting along the bottom side of this frame, just to make this thing stand out more at night. Okay, before we proceed to do any sort of wiring, it's always a good idea to disconnect the battery before you do so. Luckily, this Anderson connector is pretty accessible. Always good to have a decent phone mount handy. This one's by Lamical. This one just easily expands. You slide your phone in there, and you lock it in place. The next thing that I want to work on is clean up this area. I just think there's too much wiring exposed. I thought about relocating the headlight down here, but it looks even more awkward that way. There's only one way to mount it. It swivels off the bracket it came with. So what I'm going to do instead is take this spare front panel from a CRF50 and I'm gonna trim it up and place it up here. That should clean things up a little bit more. Just as a quick reminder, I'm not a professional. I'm just some random guy on YouTube sharing my hobbies with you guys. So please do not use my videos as a step-by-step tutorial. But just to show you what I did, I took the two LED strip power and ground wires and I teed them into one ground and one power wire, which are sharing the same power source as this 12-volt LED headlamp, which are going to this voltage step-down converter. This converts 72 volts to 12 volts to power up all my 12-volt accessories. I've been thinking about taking this RZR out on a huge Sur-Ron ride out this coming weekend. I think there's a multiple day event hosted by Fixin' Stuff or Brooks Miller. Make sure you follow him on Instagram if you're in the Northern Virginia or DMV area. He hosts rides like I think once or twice a month, but there's a big one this coming weekend and I really want to go to it, but it really depends on my work schedule. Let's see how bright this thing is. Damn, that is pretty bright. I may have to point this down depending on how it looks with both wheels down. But yes. All right, time to wrap this thing up so we can take it out. Man, it's always a little awkward hopping back on the RZR after riding the Talaria for a little while. It is so good to be out with this thing again. That is freaking amazing. I didn't realize this thing would still hit 53 miles an hour with the 13-tooth sprocket. This is one of my favorite things about this RZR is I can pretty much take it on the street, the sidewalk, or my local bike trails. It does gravel just fine, light off-road. It is honestly amazing that my first RZR build is still kicking after over a year and a half now, and it still manages to go over 50 miles an hour. Let me know what you guys think of this new body style with the cut fairings on the side. I think it looks a lot cleaner this way, and the new lighting under the frame really shows off the new heatsink. I'm sure it's going to look even brighter once it gets a little darker out, but this headlight, it is plenty bright, and I think I already aimed it correctly. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions on what I should do next. I'm thinking of getting some dropper pegs on this just to make it a little bit more comfortable to ride, and I was thinking about getting a Soshin motor on this, but I just picked up an SX500 for us to do an extended swing arm, big battery. I'm starting over with a brand new build, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content, want to keep up with some of my projects, such as this RZR MX650, consider subscribing to this channel. But this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.